You know, let me give you an example. If you had a two-story building,
Yeah.
and you were going to put a lot of weight on the second floor, like printing presses or whatever, the smart thing to do is go downstairs first, get on a ladder with the building inspector,
Right.
go up through the ceiling tiles and examine the floor you're going to build on.
Right.
And see if it's going to hold that kind of weight.
Right.
So what you're doing is you're standing under the floor or the foundation you're going to build on, okay? So that's where you get understanding, because you're standing under.
To stand under something to see if you can take the weight
Or
of the
no, to
information.
see what it's sitting on, see what it's based on. So that's where we get the word understanding.
To see if we can...
To see, you need to stand under a subject. Don't just buy the subject. Go back and read the words, where they came from, what they
get
meant.
under the subject to see if it has
Precisely,
weight.
exactly.
I
Go
see.
to the library, and there's one of the best sets of books in any library is called the Oxford Dictionary of the English Language. It's a huge voluminous set. And they're large volumes, and each word that has ever been used in the English language is traced back to day one. So it's like 2 or 3 pages per word.
Wow.
And it explains where these words came from, how they were developed.
And those words then have rooted ourselves into the subconscious. So the word we're using really is being felt deeper than the superficial
And
meaning.
you are reacting to it with your life. You're doing things every day because you think you have to. Why? Because you didn't know you don't have to.
Right.
You don't have to go to court. I don't care what your criminal, what kind of a crime you committed. I don't care how big it is. You don't have to go to court.
You don't? What do you have?
No.
What if you're...
You have to contact, you have to fill out a particular kind of form, send it to the Secretary of State, and say to the Secretary of State, I wish to settle out of court. You can settle anything out of court.
You can.
Of course.
Wow.
If Ford Motor Company is suing General Motors, they can settle out of court. So you won't know what they did to settle the thing because it's out of court.
Out of the water.
It's out of the water, right?
Right.
So you can settle any criminal complaint out of court. You just go through the Secretary of State and say that you want to settle this out of court.
So to sort of wrap up, is there a chance the world is going to change, that we're moving into a higher conscious? No chance.
I don't think so. I think there are individuals like yourself and others like me and others like us who are beginning to awaken, but there is no possible chance that the human race is going to wake up and figure anything out, because this kind of knowledge I'm talking about does not have anything to do with football or sports or
the mind
movies.
control.
Right. So as long as the human race is interested in the Hollywood starlets or football or the silly sports or all this other silliness that goes on with entertainment, then the human family as a race on the earth are not going to be evolving upward. We're just going down. We're going further down.
What about the ETs? We're hearing an alien ET conference. Are they... I mean, they exist and they've been covered up.
There's no doubt that they exist.
Are the presence of that going to make a difference with? Because it's going to change everything.
It might for you. It might for you if they look at. You know as well as I do. If you walk into a kindergarten and you see all the children playing, they have no idea what's going on in the world. They're little children, right?
Right.
But if one of them happens to be very perceptive, and is asking you very perceptive questions, you as an adult will say, that kid's smart, right? Maybe I'll take an interest in him and find out, more about him and get him into a better school or something.
Right.
That's what obviously the alien presence on the earth is thinking. They're not going to show themselves to the human race. We shoot each other.
Right.
We shoot our presidents. Right. We shoot our husbands and wives. We kill everybody.
We shoot the ones we love.
And so why would any higher intelligence come here and want to show themselves to us? Because we will first of all call the police on them, call the authorities and have them arrested, or we will shoot them or throw them into prison. So why would any highly intelligent advanced civilization want to mess with us at all? That's why they stay probably off out there and watching us. That's what I would do.
What about 2012? Any thoughts about
That's entertainment. We're talking about entertainment Hollywood.
Mayan calendar, you know,
Right.
all that stuff. It's
All
just,
entertainment.
It's just,
Let me
Yeah,
give you this
please.
one quickie point.
Yeah,
Western civilization is based on the white man's culture, and the white man's culture comes from Europe. And in the European section of Eastern and Western, well, all of Europe, Europe is a white man's home,
Right.
okay? And for 1,000 years before the Roman Empire ever existed, and it still exists today in Europe, was a whole system of government, religion, law, etc. was already established before Rome
Right.
ever came about. And that whole system of government over the white man's world of Europe 1,000 years before Rome was called the Druid system.
Right.
Druids, well, they were the lawyers, the attorneys, they were the judges, the religious leaders, they were everything. The doctors, the medical, everything was Druid in Europe. One of the most important symbols in the Druid religion was a magic wand, like the conductor of an orchestra. He waves his magic wand, and you had better dance to the tune, because
Right.
he's the boss.
So the
Right?
wand.
So the magic wand, like Merlin the magician, were always magic wands were always made out of the wood of a holly tree. It's made out of Hollywood. Okay. So once you understand, it's the magic of Hollywood that's orchestrating the whole world to dance to a new tune. So
Wow. So where does that leave us?
it leaves you in a world of trouble. If you are ignorant, ill-informed, and unread, you need to open your mind and discover for the first time that law, courts, education, it's all part of a system. You need to begin to open your mind and study
And understand.
and how the world really works.
See how it's
And the best way to do that is go onto my website, because I've been doing it for
tell
years.
people your website.
Very simple, jordanmaxwell.com. Jordan, like the river Jordan.
Right.
Maxwell, like the coffee.com. jordanmaxwell.com. Go through all of my links. Go through all the research pages. I have just hundreds of incredible documents, especially on the links,
Right.
that will just blow your mind on religion, government, symbols, hidden stuff. The whole world of real wisdom has been hidden. That's what the word occult means.
Hidden.
Hidden. So, I mean, how much of this have you known before I told you?
Oh, some of it, but
Yeah,
not
but you've
much.
heard it from...
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I've heard it for the first time. Some
Yeah.
of it here, but I mean, especially the maritime stuff I have. The other interesting thing is the way even gas companies use these sacred symbols of the shell, the
course.
chevron. The shell is the ancient symbol for the incarnational existence.
Yeah, the scallop shell, of course.